Welcome back to episode 4 of the Tradepreneur Show. I'm Patrick Summers, your host. Of course, my co-host, Mike Costa.
Great to be here as always.
All right. And Tanya Priest, who is a woman in the trades, HVAC to be exact. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you.
Yeah, happy to be here.
You nervous?
Maybe a little.
Well, you shouldn't be because you're in homes quite often dealing with customers, having conversations with complete strangers, right?
Yep.
All right.
All the time.
Okay.
Every day.
So, how long have you been in the trades?
23 years now.
23 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
What got you into the trades?
Well, when I first came to the Coachella Valley area, my father-in-law actually owned a plumbing and HVAC contracting business. So they did a lot of like government work, new construction, things like that. But he wanted me to be on the HVAC side, and that's where it all started. Got to learn a lot with the gentleman that I was working with. The manager at the time was in the industry about 45 years. So it was pretty fun.
So you've worked for contractors, and then you worked for a trade school.
Yes.
Right? Career
Yes.
service
That was a lot of
manager.
fun. Mm-hmm.
And you would help people that wanted to go into the trades and then help place them,
Yes.
right? And that's how we met.
Yes.
And full disclosure, she is one of the team members of General Air Conditioning and Plumbing. But she is somebody who's been in the trades a long time, a woman in the trades. So I really want you to hear her story because it's a great story. So how did you come to work at General Air Conditioning and Plumbing?
Well, General was one of our contracts that we had with the school. So they actually took on our students for an externship, which is like a non-paid externship where the student gets to get some hands-on with a company.
Which they have to do to graduate.
Correct. They have to do it.
Okay.
So, and what's great about it too is that it was able to help the air conditioning companies out here to do like a working interview. Like, you know, do they have what it takes? Is this something that we want to do? So I got to meet you, of course, and was helping you to really get some good employees in here at the time, which we still have, guys.
Yeah.
We still have guys that are here with us that came through the program. So yeah, I mean, I love doing it. I helped them develop also the department itself. It was brand new, HVAC, for the trade school.
So you were offered a position in General Air Conditioning and Plumbing.
Right.
And they were going into some home performance stuff. They need somebody to come in and head up that division. Anyways, now how long have you been at General Air Conditioning and Plumbing?
Coming up on 12 years.
12 years. Okay. And currently, what is your role and what is your title?
So I am the inside sales manager.
Okay, and what is that? To our audience, what does that mean?
So the whole point of our department is we want to make sure that we're touching all of our clients, that they're they understand what the technicians had told them in the field, see how their experience was, but also explain to them and educate them why we are actually giving them options on fixing their system or even replacing it.
So essentially, and I think this is really important if you're regardless of what you're doing, follow up
Correct.
is critical.
Oh, huge.
And so your department is pretty much following up on any non-closed or converted lead or recommendation, making sure it's understood, and
Right.
then helping the client to figure out how to move forward if they want to.
Right. Absolutely.
So if you're in the home and you're dealing with customers, again, doesn't matter what you're doing, but if you have customers, you never want this department to do your work. You're in the home in front of a client. You're in the studio in front of a client, right? You have the greatest impact and the best chance to communicate effectively. So if you can't help that client solve their problem, then this team comes in and does it, and they're over the phone. So just there's tremendous opportunity we always leave on the table, right? And so I always tell Tanya and her team, like you're taking the opportunity that was missed, and then I'll tell the other team, I'm like, don't allow her team to succeed, right? It should be a struggle because you guys are doing such a great job. All right. So what I want to talk about though is your role, I remember you used to come into work and you'd wear the uniform pants.
Yes.
Like the cargo pants.
Oh, when I was in
and
the
the
field,
white
looked like all the
button-up
techs.
shirt and your, yeah. And so you dressed just like the techs, and you were the only female we had wearing that uniform at the time.
That's correct.
Right?
It was just me.
And so what were you doing?
So I was actually a comfort advisor. I went out to the field. I sold to our clients. I was that person that was face to face when they wanted to replace the system. So a lot of things I was doing was going into the home, just like our techs did.
Tanya Priest is a member of the team here at General. So wait, you're going out. Remember the scene from A League of Their Own, where the one female baseball player is crying, and Tom Hanks comes over and says,
Yes.
"There's no crying in baseball."
Yeah.
You had to have been met with some stares as you're walking up the driveway, or you're walking into a house, and probably somebody in the house went, "Wait a second, you're a female."
Yeah.
Did you get hit with that?
All the
And then-
time.
Really?
All the
Like
time.
a female
As soon
doesn't
as
know
they
how to
open the
fix
door.
my.
Mhm.
What?
Oh, I was not expecting a female to be here.
How'd you overcome that?
I showed them how much I knew. I mean,
Beautiful.
it all comes with education, right? So
Yeah.
as soon as I
Baffle
knew,
them with your
oh
brilliance.
yeah, yeah.
Great.
Well,
Engineers were the best ones too. They were the best ones to talk to.
Patrick Summers here, General Air Conditioning and Plumbing. I want to talk to you about our Service Plus program. Right now, for $189, you can get your heating tune-up done, a plumbing inspection, and an electrical inspection to make sure your major systems and components of your home are not only operating efficiently, but most importantly, safely. Let's get you comfortable. Let's make sure you're safe. Let's get your systems tuned up, dialed in, and ready for a new year.
And I believe that. So, and when we go into a home, you have to go in the attic.
Yes.
Right. So where we are located, there's really no basements. Most systems are in the attic.
Mm-hmm.
So you were in the attic.
I was in the attic
In the
taking
summertime.
photos in the attic. Oh yeah, 140 degrees up there. You should have seen me when I came out.
I would have wilted like a flower without water. You are a better man than I am.
I loved it. I loved it because I like to be in front of clients and I like to be able to talk to them and help them. And, you know, the biggest thing is helping them, right? Like a lot of people don't know or don't understand air conditioning. And so I just like to relate to them. And a lot of times being a female, there's usually a female in the house.
Oh, totally.
So, you know, I'm going in and we're all relating on that aspect of things. So.
And you, and I think what's really important for just about any job, I think, is you're a really good communicator, right? Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah,
statement?
absolutely. You have to be if you're
Yeah.
in sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that you being able to help. See, I always tell the team their job is to go into a home and find potential points of failure, and then inform and educate the homeowner about it,
That's right.
and let them make the decision. And so you have to be able to communicate really well to do that.
Oh yeah.
All right. And so I think that I know in working with you, that is one of your strengths for sure. What kind of success have you had in that? Were you successful? Would you say you're successful?
I was successful. I actually got a ring for my success. I sold over $2 million it one of the years that I was doing the out in the field. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was huge.
And so you did get a ring.
I
right?
did.
Yeah,
I got a
with a
ring with a
diamond in
diamond.
it.
I got
Yeah.
2 diamonds because
Yeah,
it
it's
was
like a
over
Super
2
Bowl
million.
ring.
Oh,
Right.
nice.
And
It's
so
really neat.
we were in Washington D.C. at the Gaylord, right?
Yes.
There was a big banquet awards thing, and it's really well done. It's put on by this organization called I always think of their old name, but they are
Certain Path.
Certain Path,
Mhm.
and we compete, United States and Canada, for performance in all these different areas. So Tanya was one of they call them crown champions. And how many other women got to walk across that stage?
4 other women.
4 other women.
So I was the 5th woman to walk across the stage.
Well, and that brings up a great point. Are there, there's a lot of different fields, trades where, there's men and women equally, as it should be. but especially in your line of work, is it still one of those that's dominated by men, or are more women maybe following your story and thinking, well, I can do that. I want to do that too.
Yeah, it's definitely still dominated by men. So that's for sure. You should have seen how many people have gone past that stage. So we stuck out like a sore thumb. Wow, there's a woman walking across the stage. Definitely a very proud moment.
Sure.
And I was actually the 5th female in their history to get a ring. So in the whole country, so Canada, United States. So for me, that was huge. My parents were there that day actually to see me walk the stage. But women can do it. We can do what men do. I was out in the field in the attics. I was doing heat load calculations, to determine, the size of the equipment for the client. And you're sweating. It's not fun being in an attic, but it's just part of the job. So women can do it.
What was your largest single sale?
Largest single sale was $136,000.
Wow.
So
that's air conditioning.
that's air conditioning, all air conditioning.
And how long did it take you? Was that a you walked into the home, presented, and closed, or was there follow up?
It was tons of follow up. It took 6 months for me to sell that job.
Wow.
Yeah, and when it comes to sales, follow up is key. When now that I'm part of the inside sales department, as a comfort advisor in the field, nobody was going to follow up on my leads but me. So I was very focused on follow up, and that's most of my sales were by follow up. Not everybody can make a decision like that right away.
Yeah.
It's such a great life lesson, that follow through.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell pitchers, you want to throw a successful curveball, follow through on the pitch. And obviously, in your case, well, in anybody's case, following through with sales calls, or just, you show people that you're dependable by doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just, whatever. You want the business? Yeah, I'm here. The follow-up shows that, okay, this person, obviously this company is committed to making sure I'm taken care of.
Well, yeah, and you're creating a relationship with your clients.
Yeah.
Right? It's a huge purchase. And you have to have that relationship. And the more you follow up and get to know the individual, the more they trust you. And I want to be trusted. I manage the project all the way until it's completed for the client.
Amazing stuff.
So.
And I think with the follow-up, which, by the way, the one area I'd never follow through on is my golf swing. And that's
Great point. Yeah.
that's part of my struggle.
Yeah.
I'm too impatient, I think.
Yeah.
My buddy always says, I'll watch the ball.
No.
Jeez.
Sage words.
So, and the follow-up is critical, because so many times customers, right, a no is not a no, right, in the sense of replacing an HVAC system, doing a repair, or getting that color in your hair, whatever it is, right? It's usually, show me how I can afford it. Why does this make sense, right? It's usually I need more information, and that usually comes in the follow-up, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the reality is, it doesn't matter what industry you're selling. Insurance, I don't care. The follow-up as a whole is horrible. Somebody could make so much money just on follow-up of non-closed or converted leads. Hence why you're now
Inside sales department.
doing that with the inside sales department.
And that's why I love it, because I'm good at it, for one, and two, I'm training other individuals under me that work with me in that department how to follow up. And it's not just 1 or 2 times. We ended up selling a job that was 14 times that we had to talk to that client in order for them to move forward. But they had to be comfortable. That's the biggest thing. Like, they have to feel comfortable.
And you mentioned that sometimes, a lot of the times, not sometimes, but a lot of times they're going to a house and it's the woman.
Yes.
Excuse me. That sounds very sexist. You're speaking to a woman first.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
trust is, listen, I go to the butcher counter, and when I want to start asking a butcher about cuts of meat, I'm kind of like, what kind of steak is that over there? Because, I don't know. Or it's like a mechanic.
Yeah.
They got you over a barrel because you really don't know about it. And the same thing is if someone can trust you and you can break that barrier first, and then you're speaking to them in layman's terms, like this is what you need and this is what we can do for you.
That's right.
So much a huge part of the equation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I've had some really good, I mean, I have clients that I still communicate with that are female that I got to meet when I was in their home.
Sure.
Just great people, you know? And there's a lot, I can relate. There were so many things we related to outside of air conditioning. I mean, we were talking about all different types of stuff when we were in the house. I won't go into detail on that
Well,
stuff, but
I mean, that's how you become relatable.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I want to ask you a couple questions.
Mhm.
Okay. One, regardless, male, female, for somebody that's out there in the trades where they have to interact with people and they have to get them, make recommendations or share things with them.
Mhm.
What would your advice be? What was the thing that helped you be most successful besides the follow-up in dealing with a homeowner?
I would say educating the client. So most, like I was saying earlier, most times they don't know or understand what it is that they're purchasing. So really sitting down, I would put everything into writing on a piece of paper. I would draw photos or draw pictures, I meant, of just how their system was going to perform and why and how, and just to help them make the right decision for themselves.
And so in helping educate them, a big part of that too, I know from experience, and if you agree, is speaking in layman's terms.
Oh,
right?
definitely.
Like if Doc tells you the flux capacitor is not working, like we have no
Yeah.
idea what that is,
Like,
right?
what the heck? Yeah, absolutely. So for me, it was a lot of times, you know, when it came to the ductwork and the air conditioning system, it was the heart and the arteries. So, you know, yes, absolutely. And I would get to know clients that they love cars. So then I'd give a car analogy so that they can get it.
Perfect, yeah.
So you have to know your client. You have to get to know them to know how they take information.
Talk to them
That's-
on their level.
Yeah. So, I mean, for people that, I don't know if not everybody knows what the disc is, but you have people that are just get to the point. I need to make a decision. And then you have those individuals that are like, okay, I need all the details.
Yep.
I need all the details. So you just know, as you get to know them in their home, you start to kind of figure out how to relate to them.
So next question, and this is an earlier episode I talked about how controversial being controversial is a good thing. So here's the test. You know, there's this big push to get women into the trades, right? Specifically like HVAC, plumbing, and the traditionally male trades, right? I think it's great to have women in the trades, right? Just like I think it's great to have men in typically female-dominated industries, right? Look at nursing for one, right? But at the same time, I'm like, well, who cares, right? Like, what? Like, if somebody wants to be in the trades, they want to be in the trades. I've got 3 daughters, right? Not one of them wants to be in the trades, right? And why am I going to try and convince them to be in the trades when that's not really what they want to do? Now, here comes the dichotomy of that, of the controversial comment, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that be like, oh my God, he's against women in the trades. That's not what I said, right? I believe that we should make known the opportunities for women in the trades. And if they want to get into the trades, fantastic. And that goes both ways, right? Male, female, I don't care. But if you want to go do something that's dominated by women, go do it. You want to do something that's dominated by men, go do it. But sometimes we spend a lot of energy and money and time trying to get a certain demographic to do something that they really don't want to do. But there is a small demographic that may be very interested in it, may be intimidated, don't know how to go about it. And of course, that's why you're here. So with that said, what is, and there is an amazing organization. If you're a woman, and as a man, I'm a member, but if you're a woman, it's Women in the Trades or Women in HVAC. I'll make sure that we have the actual link and contact in this podcast. But there is a whole organization, and it's an amazing organization that helps show what the opportunities are and how to break into them. With that said, what message would you have for any woman listening to us, or young lady right? Somebody that's still in school doesn't feels like, do I go to college? Do I go here? Do I go here?
Right.
What would you say about opportunities in the trades for women?
Well, I mean, there's tons of opportunity. I'm having this position and being in this industry, I've just become so successful over the years. It's such a great challenge too. Like I've really challenged myself. But if there's anything, I would say it's try it. I mean, try it. Get to know the industry. Learn about it. I mean, I taught myself a lot of stuff about, air conditioning. Now I'm learning plumbing and electrical. But there's tons of opportunity. I mean, there's from office to the field to sales. I mean,
it's not just turning wrenches, right?
Correct. It's not just the tech
And
side.
we had a female technician. Her name was Tanya, and she came out of trade school. We hired her. She was phenomenal. She was so much better than some of the techs we had at the time that had been in the trades for a long time, because she was patient. She was a great communicator. She had no there was humility was a big thing. Like she would just ask if she needed help, right? But I remember sending her out. The one tech didn't want to go out. There were a couple techs didn't want to go out and install this new device we were using because they were unfamiliar with how it went. She's a new grad. Sent her out. She came back, had it done in a really good amount of time. I said, "Was it a struggle?" She said, "No, I just read the wiring diagram."
Right.
And I just did. I'm like, so
See
anyway,
what happens when you read the directions.
But here's the amazing thing about this young woman. She was in the trades as a technician for us, and then she went and she also had an Instagram channel where she was showing young women how to properly apply makeup, and she had all these followers and everything like that. Anyways, she ended up having a child. She transitioned in house, and she started working in our office, and she was phenomenal. She was just as good in the field and in the office. She was phenomenal. And of course, she ended up leaving us because she went to homeschool her children. But there's tremendous opportunity for people in the trades, male, female, I don't care. It's just all what you're into. And then 2 more questions. I know I have some of the team looking at me like, hey, let's wrap this up. But,
It's your show.
yeah, I mean, come on. I've waited a long time to do this. Again, a couple episodes back, I was talking about me really trying to be more vulnerable. And you've seen me change over the years.
Oh, yeah.
As I've stepped from different roles and now the CEO role to totally different, being an operations guy and going into like a CEO role. It's been a struggle. And we'll probably talk about that down the road. But I really want to be more vulnerable. I'm not going to hug a teddy bear and cry in the corner because that's not me. But tell me something about myself that is a challenge, a struggle that I need to stop doing or start doing.
Oh boy.
Because you
Put
worked
me on the spot now.
You worked here 12 years, and then a couple of years we worked together when you were career service manager for the trade school.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've definitely seen you evolve. Just being approachable. Sometimes I don't. People are a little scared to approach it. You're very passionate.
It's because I worked out.
Very probably.
Do you even lift, bro?
That's probably it. But just being approachable. But I've seen you work on it over the last couple of years, though, where you've become more engaged.
Well, and that is something I have to continue to work on.
Yeah.
All right, now the last question before we wrap up here. What am I doing well, and what do I need to keep doing?
What you're doing well is you're being a damn good leader for all of us. You live by the example. So we see your passion. We see how you work. You share your knowledge. Keep doing that.
But
Keep sharing that knowledge with
for
us.
all of our listeners and viewers out there, I've not like where I am now. It's been a journey.
Oh,
correct?
it's been a journey.
Right.
It's been a journey.
I used to, the man I work for, Frank Harrison, I'm going to have him on one of these episodes. My business partner, Francisco Rodriguez, myself, bought the business from him. And I was his general manager. And he used to introduce me. He says, "This is my asshole." Right? Because I was like a drill sergeant. And I could, and I made things happen. If you're familiar with the disc, my disc profile, I'm a high D, high C. Right? And I had somebody tell me, like, Patrick, you're an asshole to work for, but you're incredibly effective. right? So it's been a journey. So to hear that, I appreciate that because I have been the self-awareness and trying to get better at that. So wherever you are on that journey, just know it's a journey and there's no destination. And no matter how far over here you are or over here, start somewhere. And as Jay said a few episodes ago, you don't have to wait till the new year to start. You can start in the next hour, the next minute, the next Monday, tomorrow, whatever it is. Just know it's a journey, and on journeys, you always have slipbacks, right? But you just keep moving forward in the right direction. So with that,
Tanya Priest, thank you so much for joining us today on the Tradepreneur Show. Awesome
you, guys.
insight.
Thank you.
yeah,
Been
yeah.
fun.
So thanks for tuning in again. Remember to like us, share, comment. We appreciate all of that. You can find us wherever podcasts are streaming, YouTube, and any of the social channels at the Tradepreneur Show.